Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. Good evening and welcome once again to the people who may have arrived late and those people who have joined online maybe a little late to another Sunday discourse. We are conducting this every Sunday, teaching how to develop the right attitude within oneself, how to develop happiness within oneself, how to come out of our suffering. The Buddha, when he was teaching to people, the Buddha taught so many different types of people, from rulers, kings, princes, priests, working people, farmers, laborers, pedestrians, all kinds of people, sweepers, all kinds of people. So Buddha taught so many different types of people in so many different types of ways, according to their level of understanding. And how they can understand. But then the Buddha was only concerned about how these people can understand how to come out of their suffering. He was concerned about that. Everybody, starting from the kings in those days to the lowest possible person the Buddha met, people living in the lowest strata of society, they all have their own level of discomfort or suffering or dissatisfaction or unhappiness in certain ways. And when the Buddha was teaching to these people, giving the teachings to any one of those people, he was focusing on this, how to come out of this, how to develop the right set of mind. And that's the real thing. You can say that's the real treasure that a person can have. When we say treasure, we understand it like this. We think it's something that we possess, something of value, something valuable. And those things, what we possess, those valuable things, they are capable of giving us some kind of happiness or comfort or any kind of, or if we are unhappy or if we are in a difficult situation, these treasures can help us come out of those difficult situations. So this is what we understand. Something valuable that is useful to us. Something valuable, but it is not useful to us, then it is not really a treasure. For a person who is, say if somebody is very sick and he's, doctor said that you can't eat so many things. If you eat, your health will deteriorate and you're going to die very quickly. So if he has a lot of food in his house, which are good, which are delicious, but then he can't eat those things, then these are also valuable things, but then they're not useful to him. So they are not really his treasure. That's actually a cause of suffering. If he looks at them and thinks, oh, I could eat this, I could eat that, but I can't do any of those things. It becomes then it becomes a cause of suffering instead of a cause of happiness. So the treasure is something which is valuable, but which is also useful to us, not just valuable. Sometimes some certain things are valuable. Sometimes some of the uh, alcohols or liquors, they are also very expensive. And if you drink too much, you have cirrhosis of liver, and then you die. People, they end up drinking too much, they get cirrhosis of liver, and then they die. So that's also valuable thing, but it can be dangerous. Not everything valuable is of use to us. We must also understand. Only certain things that are valuable and useful, they are our real treasure. So the Buddha was telling us to develop a different kind of treasure within our mind. The treasure that can see us, that allows us to see the true value of our own life, true value of our own happiness or suffering, satisfaction or dissatisfaction, and true value of coming out of our own unhappiness or miseries or anything. That's he was telling us to develop the right understanding about our life, basically. He was telling us how to develop right understanding. That's very important. We all do things. We all do things. Every day we get up and then we wash our face or brush our teeth or take a bath or attend to nature's call or have our breakfast and continue our day like this. Or do other things, whatever. But then that's just to some kind of nourishing this body, some level of nourishment to the body, or some level of cleaning of the body or something like this. But then our mind is still not so good, not so sharp, not so wise. And the problem is that if we carry something which is full of wrong things, then that can be a source of great unhappiness. If you can't really leave your mind back to your room and go around moving here and there. We can't do that. Our mind is always with us. If it is good, it is with us. If it is bad, it is also with us. Simple. It doesn't go away anywhere else. So if it is good, if it has some wisdom, if it has some right understanding, then it is helpful. Then whatever happens, we can look at it correctly. We don't get stressed about it. But then if it is not good, if it is full of stress, if it is full of ignorance, full of wrong attitude, then wherever we go, we carry that stressful mind, unhappy mind, miserable mind. And then wherever we go, we feel miserable. Sometimes people say, no, I am unhappy, I am sad, I don't feel good, I feel miserable. So when they say, I feel miserable, I am unhappy, I'm like this, I'm like that, where exactly do they feel miserable? In their hands or in the legs or in their ears or in their nose? No, in their mind. In their mind, they feel miserable. So wherever they go, they carry that feeling of miserableness. So whatever they do, still they're unhappy people. So when the Buddha was teaching, he was telling, look here where you feel miserable, right there where you feel miserable. That's how you develop the practice. The spiritual practice is to be able to look right there where the suffering arises, where the dissatisfaction arises, where the discomfort arises, where the ignorance arises. The spiritual practice, the real spiritual practice, is to see right there. The Buddha was telling, look here. You say you feel miserable. There was this farmer who lost all his crop. And then he met the Buddha. Buddha was going on his arms around, and he met the Buddha. And he said, I feel so miserable. I feel so unhappy. Buddha asked him, why do you feel unhappy? I lost all my crop. Yesterday there was this heavy rain and this flood, and all my crop was gone, destroyed. Buddha asked him again, do you feel really unhappy because because you lost the crop? He said, yes, I lost the crop. That's why I feel unhappy. Buddha said, no, that's not you are unhappy for. You are unhappy because you have a kind of clinging towards your whatever crops or your harvest or things like that. So that because of the clinging, you feel unhappy. So right there. So when the Buddha was telling us to develop the right view, he was telling us to develop the right view in our day-to-day things. What do we call it? We call it mindfulness. This looking right here where our dissatisfaction is or unhappiness is or whatever we feel, whatever is there, this is called mindfulness. Looking right there where all things are happening. If your mind is feeling excellent, happy or joyful or peaceful, look right there. If your mind is feeling miserable or unhappy, look right there. This is called mindfulness. And how do you look? How do you look? When you have a lot of happiness. When you have a lot of happiness and look at this happiness, I feel so happy today. It's so wonderful. It's such a wonderful feeling. And then you get overexcited. And then after some time, your happiness or that wonderful feeling fades away. And then you feel, oh, I don't feel that good now. Earlier, I was feeling so excited, but maybe it has gone away. Maybe it has reduced. And then after some time, something else happens. You feel unhappy, or maybe sometimes you feel miserable. I don't feel good at all. In all these situations, feeling wonderful, feeling not so good, not so bad, or feeling horrible, the Buddha was telling us, look right here. Look right here mindfully, what you feel. Then something else also he was telling. What was he telling? When you are feeling these feelings, when all these feelings are there, don't be obsessed with them. Don't grasp at those feelings. When you see, you see. When you are aware, you are aware. Don't feel this is me. They aren't. If that feeling is you, then that feeling will stay with you. If that you are the owner of that feeling, happy feeling or sad feeling or neutral feeling, then they are going to stay with you. You say, okay, you are my happy feeling. I am the owner of you. Stay with me. Stay with me, this happy feeling. Stay with me, this sad feeling. But they come and go. That's the thing. Happy feelings, they come and go. Sad feelings, they come and go. Neutral feelings, they come and go. No? All feelings come and go. So Buddha was saying, look right there. Don't be obsessed with them, whatever you feel. This is the mindfulness Buddha was telling us to practice. Look right here. What you feel, look right here. Just when we were meditating earlier, I was giving the instruction. Whatever you feel with the body, see them. Be aware. This is a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. I'm feeling heaviness in the body or lightness in the body, and just let go. Oh, I'm feeling heavy. It is not good. And then you increase your suffering. Oh, I'm feeling so light. And then you feel excited. Oh, my body is so light. And then it goes away. Again, unhappiness comes. This is right here, inside our mind, right here. So the Buddha was telling us, look here. When you have the good feelings or the bad feelings, don't be obsessed with them. Good feelings or the bad feelings, they have the same value. They have the same value. Why do I say they have the same value? You have all seen coins, no? 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, 5 rupee, 10 rupee, whatever it is. You've all seen coins. Coin has two sides, one head, one tail. Those two sides. And then you pick up a coin, any coin, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee, 10 rupee, whatever it is. When you pick up the coin, can you do like this? I pick up only the head or only the tail, but not the other side. Can anyone do like this? Nobody can. That's the thing. Nobody can. When you pick up a coin, you pick up both the sides. Similarly, when you try to pick up the so-called pleasant things, you invariably end up picking up the unpleasant things also, because of your obsession for the pleasant things. As it fades away after some time, which is their nature, unpleasant things also will come. That's how everything is. You can't have one and not the other. You want pleasant things, then unpleasant things will sooner or later follow. So Buddha was saying, look right here. This is where you make a mistake. You say, I want this pleasant feeling, I want that pleasant feeling, and then this, that. You can't do like this. You can't do like this and then later on complain, no, I don't feel pleasant. You can't solve your problem like this. Buddha was saying, like right here, you must see the nature of those pleasant feelings. They stay for some time, go away, run away. And those unpleasant feelings, they stay for some time, they also run away. Another new feeling comes, that also goes away. So the nature of all the feelings, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, their nature is to run away, not to stay with us. This is the right understanding. This is the right understanding. When we are young people, like say for example, children, when they're newborn babies, or just they have started growing up, and then when they grow up, 1 day and 1 year, 1 month and 1 year and 2 and 5 and 10 and 20, 30, 40, 50. Now that 1 day old baby, because that baby is growing up, at some point of time, that baby ends up being a 50-year-old person or a 60 or 70 or 80-year-old person. Just that baby, because of growth, because of this change, constant change, the baby ends up being an 80-year-old person. Simple. Now, when they say, when you look at the baby, and the baby looks very nice. When you look at a person who 80 or 90 or almost 100 years of age, maybe fully very fragile, or maybe bedridden, or maybe almost about to die. But my question is, where did that old person come from? From that baby. Just why? How? Change. That's the right understanding. So all the pleasant things or the unpleasant things, they have the same value because they all change. They have the nature of change. This was what the Buddha was telling us to understand by our practice. Why do we meditate? To understand this, how things change, how they really are. When we can understand a little, or if we can understand a lot, that things change. They're supposed to, all things. Now, if it is a good thing, wonderful thing, people join a new job. And then after working in that same company for 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, then they say, this company not good. I want to get a new job, new place. Why? It's change. That's all it is. It was never good. In the first place, when you thought it was so good or so wonderful, it wasn't. It was just an impermanent thing, a thing which was supposed to change. That's all. It is, in a way, it is neither good nor bad. Things are just as they are. Now you're sitting here in this hall, it's all fine. Maybe it's 20-year-old. Yeah, it's around 20 years old, this hall. Another 20, 30, 40 years or 50 years. Now you sit here, no problem. Whether it is rainy or it is sunny or it is hot or cold, you can manage sitting inside this. But then you come after 30 or 40 or 50 years, when it is very old, where there may be cracks. Then you sit here. Then it falls down maybe. Huh? Or it's about to fall down. But then the hall was always supposed to crumble down. That's why even on the very first day it was inaugurated, it had the nature of breaking up. That's what the Buddha was telling us to understand. That's the right understanding. So when you have the new hall, okay, it's a big hall. It has a purpose. It serves the purpose. But then we don't have to be overexcited about it. Oh, we have such a big, nice hall. Because this hall is going to change. Similarly, our body is going to change. Our mind is also going to change. We can run away from everybody else. We can run away from everything else. But we can't run away from the changing nature of our own body and mind. Can you? Can anyone? You can run away from other people. You can run away from all the people. Only person you can't run away from is yourself. Your body will change, your mind will change. And when it will change, as you cling on to these things, dissatisfaction will arise, suffering will arise. This is what, when the Buddha was telling us, you should practice certain things. For example, we say people should practice generosity. People should practice generosity. Why did the Buddha tell people should? All religions teach about generosity, whether it is Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, or Sikhism, or Christianity, or Islam, or all religions to some level, they teach about giving dana or generosity, such things. Everybody teaches. Nothing new about it, nothing really extraordinary about it. No, Buddha was telling, when he was telling, you should be a generous person. He was not telling for the sake of being generous. Something in addition to this. What is that? He was telling us, why should you be generous? Because you have too much of greed and craving. This will be the cause of your suffering. So when you are generous, you reduce your greed and craving and too much of clinging or attachment by opening your mind and opening your heart, and you are able to give things to others. This is why you should be. And when you repeat it, cultivate it repeatedly again and again, this generosity, then this stinginess or heaviness or tightness of your mind or a lot of greed or a lot of craving, this will reduce and go away. When you have a lot of, that's why to practice generosity. Not for the sake of being generous or famous or anything, but for the sake of reducing our unwholesome greed. When the Buddha was telling, you must you must keep a mind of loving kindness, having goodwill for all living beings, yourself and all other living beings. Why? Because we tend to get unhappy or angry or hateful towards others and sometimes towards ourselves. So not for the sake of being good-natured. Buddha wasn't, oh, you should be a good person, that's why you should do this. Not just for this. When the Buddha was telling, you should be a person full of loving kindness and compassion, because if you do not do it, then you go back to the hatred and anger and you go back to suffering. So you must let it go. You must let go of the greed. You must let go of the hatred. You must let go of the ignorance. That's what the Buddha was teaching. So the whole spiritual practice is to let go of primarily these three things. To let go of the greed and craving and attachment, to let go of the anger and hatred, are all such things. To let go of the ignorance, wrong understanding. So whatever the Buddha was teaching, he was teaching at a general level and also at a higher wisdom level. That not for the sake of, just for the sake of doing something, don't do it. Look into your heart. How do you feel? Don't go around, ask people, is it good? Is it good? When you are generous, give something to someone, whether it is a known person, unknown person, whatever it is, give something. Look into your own heart. How do you feel? When you are able to give freely, not with a mind of miserliness, freely, big or small, whatever it is, able to give something to anyone, how do you feel? Do you feel, oh, I feel so miserable or wretched or unhappy? Or do you feel, oh, it's good? It feels good. So that's what the Buddha was telling. It feels good means there is some value in this. What is the value? Value of giving up the greed. That's the value of generosity. Value of giving up the hatred. That's the value of practicing a mind of loving kindness. Because when you overcome these unwholesome roots of your mind, unwholesome tendencies of your mind with something stronger and wholesome, then you are creating a condition. Then you are creating a condition. Condition for what? You are creating a condition for your mind to be well equipped. When a farmer prepares a land for agriculture, they have to first make the land even, and then if there is too much of say rocks or pebbles and all those things, they have to take them out and then till the land properly and give water and some manure, and then they have to put the seeds for the crops to come. No? So all those groundwork. So this practice of generosity or loving kindness and all these morality, these are preparing the groundwork for something better, for the crop to come. That crop is your right understanding. If your mind has a lot of greed and attachment and craving and anger and jealousy and hatred, wisdom shall not arise. Right understanding shall not arise. So you're creating a condition within your mind for the wisdom to arise. People say, I want to meditate. People say, it's good that you want to meditate. But then you must also understand, if you are the person who's always angry and fighting and greedy or stingy or miserly or hateful, then forget about meditation. You can't. It's not going to happen. You can go to any teacher, any guru, your mind is not good. Can you, if you have a house which is full of garbage, can you peacefully, and it's all those garbage is stinking, and can you really peacefully live there? Simple. No, you can't. You must clean up those things. So that's the thing. So when we create the groundwork, then this right understanding, the wisdom about impermanence, wisdom about the true nature of life, that gradually arises. Not suddenly, but step by step, little by little, this keeps on arising. This is the wealth. As I was telling about the wealth earlier. Why? When this is the wealth, it is something valuable. This wisdom is valuable. Because this wisdom can give us something good. This wisdom can give us the peace of mind, the true happiness. That's why they are valuable. That's why they are useful. Then we know wherever we go, we are not unhappy people. No? If someone is blind, someone is blind, and then wherever he goes, with his friends or relatives, wherever he goes, and then he asks, which place is it? Which place is it? Is it mountain? Is it seaside? Is it plain land? Huh? Is it a village? Is it city? Huh? He keeps on asking people, no, all the time, which place is it? Which place is it? Mind is disturbed. But if somebody with good eyesight, he can see, okay, this is a village, this is city, this is mountain, this is sea, this is river, and whatever it is. So he doesn't have to be restless. I can't see. So wisdom is like having the eye. Then you can see all things. Then you don't have to be bothered. Okay, this is just a mountain, just a sea, just a village, just a city. So these are all these things. Then you don't have to be really bothered about it. You don't have to struggle. This is the true happiness. Freedom from all struggles, internal or external. This is the real happiness. So when the Buddha was teaching, he was teaching us like this. If you do something good, not for the sake of doing good, with something higher motive to develop the right understanding. So with this, we'll conclude today's discourse, the chanting of metta, loving kindness to all living beings. Sukhe bhaveyang niddukha ahang nichang ahang viha hitacha me sukhe honto manchatta chaverino imani gamma ketam hi satta honto sukhe sada tato parancha rajyesu chakavale sujantanu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We conclude here, and next Sunday, we'll have the program. We have the program on all Sundays, 6 o'clock. So you can attend with your family, friends. You can inform other people also who are willing to come and attend. And also next Sunday, we have a special program, offering of the Katina robe ceremony. This is end of this rains retreat. So today and tomorrow, the full moon day, after the full moon day of October, we have this ceremony every year, once in a year, offering of the special robe and monastic requisites to the members of the monastic community, to the Sangha. So next Sunday, we will have this program from 10:30 morning. So you can all attend, and you can bring your family, friends, and other people also. So that is the program on next Sunday. And evening, as usual, on every Sundays, we'll have the discourse. And if you are free on 13th of this month, that is on Thursday, there will be another program for inauguration of our monastic residence. So some of the dignitaries will come. So you can also attend that program. That will be on the morning, 10 o'clock, but I believe it's a working day. So if you are able to attend, that is good. And but on Sunday, surely you should all attend, everyone. We conclude here.